Welcome back to Living with a Classic, and it's time to install another engine. It's been a while since we had an update here on the S-type. A couple of reasons why. One of us, it's been a lot of work, a lot more than I anticipated. So, brief recap: friend's car, blown engine. We got replacement engine, but we couldn't get one for the precise model. So we got one from the exact same year model of 308, X308. So it's a twin sensor engine, all of that. Has the same heads, same block. However, sump is different, intake's different, that's not a big deal. But everything is different. So first time I put it together, when I was gonna see that the last thing fit on the engine, which was just an AC compressor, just wanted to make sure it was gonna work. I noticed that the front cover is different. So I had to tear everything apart again, replace that. And well, yeah, it's taken quite a bit of time. I mean, flywheel's different, lots of things are different, but now everything is on here. The transmission is on. Not all the torque converter bolts are tightened up. They're actually studs and they're nuts, but I have 3 of them on. I'll do the rest when it's in the car. Wiring had to be moved over. It's been a lot. The only thing I managed to damage when I took the engine out was that little fitting right there, but bought a new one, put that on. So hopefully today it goes back in. It's the first time I am putting one of these engines in, but hopefully it just goes out the same way I took it out. And yeah, so also moves things out of the way, but you can check out the previous videos on this car if you want to see some things. But hopefully today we'll get it in, and then I will do a bunch of things off camera, you know, plugging everything in, everything. And then I'll bring you guys along for another video when we hopefully fire this thing up, and hopefully it works this time. So the good thing is that this car rolls really easily where it stands right now, so I can maneuver it. It's actually easier probably to maneuver the car than to try and maneuver the engine crane, because I have to lift it very high, and you know, it's not that stable when it's this high. But we're pretty much almost clear. I'll lift it a tiny bit more. Then I'm going to move the steering wheel to the right, push it forward a bit, and hopefully we should be in the right spot. Okay, we should have enough room to clear. So far, so good. I think we're pretty much spot on. Can actually straighten out the wheels a bit. There we go. Starting to get into place. We have a bit of space left here, but it does go forward a bit when I change the angle. So we're gonna go change the angle. Don't have any space here for a socket this time. I'm gonna lift it this high. Last time I had that thing in the way, so I cut that off. Okay, still have some space left here, and I was wrong. It went backwards instead, or away from the car when I lowered it. That's one thing that is really difficult, you know, because you're standing in front of the cars. So when I want to put the engine in, I want to push it forward. Technically, I'm going backwards in the car. So it's just, oh, it's a bit confusing, at least in my opinion, but in my mind it makes sense. But I think if I was working with someone else, trying to give them directions, I think they'd probably be quite confused. be quite a slow process, but this is definitely the case. I think if slow and steady wins the race. I've angled it now close to the maximum that I can, but I have plenty of room here. So I'm going to try and lower it a little bit. It should actually go further into the engine bay as I lower it. Alright, it's going in the right direction at least. And we are just clearing. So we're in the transmission tunnel now. I'll bring you guys in for a closer look. So we're just going into the transmission tunnel there. Not touching anywhere yet. I'm going to be very careful about that. I don't want to rip this hose off again. And here, I mean, there's a little bit of a hump here, so we do need to probably try and angle it the most I can. There's a little bit left there. So I'll do that. Try and get that down. And then we'll probably need to go that way, plus maybe up a little bit for this to get it in. But hopefully I can do it without having to lift the car up. I did lift it up a little bit to get it out, but it was a bit of a hassle, so I'm going to see if I can do it without having to do that part. Let's try lowering it now, because it should hopefully slide past all of this as that happens. And that is just, it's just scraping a little bit on the sound deadening in there. Okay, we are very close here. Wish I could angle it a little bit more, but I'll have to lift it out to do that. So I think I will look things around a little bit, maybe get a jack, raise the back of the car up to get the front lower and the back a little bit higher to get this in. That may be the solution. I have now raised the back of the car a bit, and it seems to have made a difference. I'm no longer touching up there, and I actually can get my hand between here. So I think we're going to try move the engine further in a little bit if possible. There we go. Now we're pretty much clear here. I think start to go down. Perfect. And let's see, I'm just getting stuck on some of the insulation here. There we go, that should be fixed now. And after looking at it, we can go down a little bit more. And actually try and push it in even further. And continue going down. I think we're on to a good start here. Now we're actually almost past here. I'm going to see if I can push it in a tiny bit more. Otherwise we'll have to do... There we go. Now this is all about changing the angle back again, and it should be good. Alright, change the angle a little bit, and I'm going to see if we can actually lower it a tiny bit. Well, that's very good. Do a little bit at a time, just make sure that we don't damage anything, but now we're definitely clear of the transmission tunnel. The end of the transmission is almost touching the ground, or probably 10 centimeters away from the ground, but that's very good. We're very clear here. So I'm trying to think if changing the angle is the next best thing to do, or actually lowering it a little bit more. We should be at a point now where we could lower it a little bit more, hopefully. Okay, we're starting to at least touch down on something. Still need to go further back. So up a little bit more. That. And more leveling. Alright, so I've had it up and down about 3 times, and the issue is I couldn't get it as far in as I wanted. So I took it up and I angled it again, so transmission down, and then as I started lowering it down, it went forward, and I think we are as far forward as I can go right now. So let's see what happens. Yeah, that's going forward. Perfect. And I think we're good. It's just else is a AC line there, but I think I should slide past. Okay, we're very, very close. It's just the front of the engine here. I'll bring this in as you're sitting on a big anti-roll bar. So if you can see that, it's the front of the sump where the oil filter housing is. You're sitting on the anti-roll bar there. So I'm going to lift a tiny bit, push it in with a pry bar, and then we should be pretty good. This engine sits so far back in the engine bay, but we're very, very close now. Alright, we're past the anti-roll bar now. And now I think the issue is actually that transmission is basically on the ground. So I think I'm going to see if I can get underneath with a jack on the back of the transmission, get that up a bit. Because if I lift it again, I think we're going to come out. But we're past the anti-roll bar. And we're pretty much right above the engine mounts as well. So I think this has gone really well. Alright, I have a jack under the back of the transmission. I'm going to start raising it, and hopefully, well, the last sort of things will come into place. I am going to make sure that we have tension on here because the engine mounts are not in place. So we need that. And that sounded and felt like something happened. Let's see. Okay, good. We're not touching the back of the firewall anymore. We just have a little bit further to go. Let's see if I can fix that with my pry bar here. Okay, I think we're actually pretty much in place. See if I can raise back the transmission a little bit more. Honestly, do you think we're in place now? If you have a look, let's see if I can bring you guys in. We're right above where the engine mount should be over there. Same on the other side. So I'd call that a success. Wasn't very easy, but it's in now. And that's it. Alright, we got that rooster going out there crazy. Hope that wasn't too disturbing during the video, but we're down here. Usually don't work down here, but just on this car. But it's in place. I need to do a lot of things now. I can put the engine mounts in, transmission mounts, a lot of other things, but it's just a reversal of removal basically. So I will do all of that. And the next time you see this car, hopefully we'll be ready to prime the fuel system, put new fuel in it, turn the key, see if it fires up. Anyways, if you like this video, please give a thumbs up, share it with your friends. If you're not already subscribed to the channel, please do subscribe to the channel. It really does help out a lot. Until next time, I'm Adam, and this was Living with a Classic. I'll see you soon.